Hi, welcome to Pilates and Yoga Services. This video is in exercises. Technically, it's one simple exercise that you can do to help increase shoulder mobility, a little bit of shoulder flexibility, and also can be shoulder strength as well, depending on what you do. So I personally call them up, overs, down, rounds, but as I keep on saying, if you're familiar with how I teach, I don't care what you call it. It doesn't matter, the movement is everything. So, don't need the mat for this one. I prefer to do it standard. It's a bit more challenging, a bit more to control. You can do it sat down, kneeling down. So, 7 feet hip socket distance spot. I've got all 3 resistance bands here. There's different ones. This is a light resistance one. And I'm going to start off tame. I'm going to start off with the hands wide apart on a light resistance. And I'm going to take my arms up, keeping my arms straight. Now the band travels horizontal to the floor. That's important. I take it up over my head. And take it down the back. And I'll just show you that what it looks like from the side. Almost as if there's some acky on the band. I'm trying to keep the band away from my body. So yes, you're working your biceps, you're working your deltoids. Keeping your shoulders down, you're working the lower trapezius in particular. And then you're stretching off in this position here. Not massively, you're not taking out, forcing your arms back. You're stretching off the biceps again. Anterior deltoid and your pecs, pec major in particular. And because I'm having to pull the band, now it's a light resistance, so it's not a massive amount of strength one for me. So with a light resistance for me, this is a mobilizing one. Bit of a stretch as well, stretching off the chest. I can really feel it on the front. Conversely, when it goes back here, I can feel rear deltoids, infraspinatus, across the shoulders, the rhomboids, mid-fibers, the traps. I can feel it in that area there as well. So that's working mainly mobility and flexibility, especially here. You can really feel it. Now, if you want to flex your hands back there, you turn out as a bit of a brachial plexus stretch, or what's called neural gliding then. Super, I can actually feel that on my chest. I actually exercise on my chest as well. Super. So then I can do 1 or 2 things. What I'd like to do is, can I narrow the band? Now that's working on a little mobility required. Subscapularis, mobility of the shoulder, the actual scapula. And again, I've narrowed it, so I've got to pull the band apart, so it's a little bit, still mobility, they're all going to work mobility. Narrower, so it's working a bit more range of motion, that shoulder blade. Certain sports in particular need a lot of shoulder mobility. Swimmers would be one. Dancers, martial arts, gymnasts, powerlifters, they need a tremendous amount of shoulder mobility. So it's working strength as well. I'm feeling my chest a lot, a little bit of chest work recently. And there comes a point where I can only go, regardless of strength, it has nothing to do with it. There comes a point where I can't really get my hands any narrower, the band would snap because I'm pulling the band. That's the time. Should really keep in good form. So I'm going to up the resistance now. Now, something I haven't mentioned yet, very important for technique, and that is, and it's simpler phrasing it this way, the only thing we want to move is the arms and the shoulder blades. So what you're trying to avoid is this. Go as quick as you want, provided you keep good form. The body swaying, moving all over the shoulder, the chest moving, the torso, the spine moving. You keep it, hopefully I'm keeping good form. I can't see myself, so I hope I am. There's a temptation here to arch the back. It's weird, have you ever driven a car, gone under a tunnel, or under a low bridge, I should say, and you do this? Or a narrow lane and you do that. Make sure you don't do that when you're doing these. When the band goes over, you see it so often, the band goes over the head, this happens. It's almost that bad. It's the simplest way of phrasing it. Nothing moves, just your arms and your shoulder blades. Very good one to have. I've got a mirror here, actually stand in front of the mirror, because in your head you think you're doing it perfect. And then again, narrower and narrower, and sometimes it comes to a point, assuming you're strong enough, so some people, the yellow band, now that's too much. It's too much stress on the front joint capsule. So with that resistance band, I couldn't really go any narrower. Doesn't mean I can't go higher, I can go heavy resistance, just means I've got to keep my arms probably a bit wider. So if I was honest, I couldn't go any narrower from a range of motion point of view. It's working strength, higher resistance bands because the arms are pulling apart to come up and over. I was trying to find a level with each band, to be honest with you. So, if you're more after strength, a little bit of a thicker band, a little bit narrower as well, if you can. The hands, providing you keep in good form, everything is pain-free, not discomfort-free. If you're just interested in mobility, don't even need technically, you don't even need a band. I can't get on with doing no band. In fact, I say that, and I actually find it harder to control my body where there's no band and you're trying to do the same movement. It's weird. You'd think it'd be with a band. But anyway, I call them up, overs, down, arounds. Works on shoulder mobility, shoulder strength. What's the other one? Oh, and a bit of stretching as well. Stretches off the front. It's a very good stretching one, actually. Sometimes I do get them to hold it there and take the hands back. Take that neural glide and that neural stretching. And that's up, overs, down, arounds. Shoulder strength, shoulder mobility, shoulder stretching.